Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel, I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt, fix several years of financial misbehaviour, and regain some ground and get things back to normal after a really tumultuous couple of months in my budgeting journey. You are joining me today, literally, on the sofa. That is because I absolutely have to enforce for myself a literal day of rest today, or I'm not going to be in a great condition for teaching next week, and B, because the room I normally film in currently looks like this. It was a week. Let's review. This is a budget review. 1 week after oh my gosh, what's happening? We're going to be reviewing the budget for this week today, and I felt it was a really good time to do it because in true fashion the week did not go to plan, and that's not always a bad thing. Now, I started my week early on Monday the 29th instead of Wednesday the 30th when I get paid, and I knew I'd be back at work, so I was fully anticipating week day 1, day 2 and day 3. Realistically, I was really tired and just gave myself a bit of rest and a bit of grace and just thought, right, yeah, I'll adapt to being back at work with the way things are currently, but it's going to be difficult. So I thought, right, I'll just have a couple of days, not do any listing. I know I've done the photographs, but just listen to my body and come in. And if I need a dark room with no light and no sound, that's fine. That's what we'll have, with the intention of picking it up. Now, this coming Sunday, aka yesterday on the day of filming, I knew that the conservatory would be gutted. And for those of you that stick around to the very end of the video, I'm actually going to show you a walkthrough of where things are up to so far. The room is not done because we're waiting on a couple of things, but it's going to make things worlds easier. And if I wasn't enforcing a day of rest, I would totally be in there playing today, but I can't do that. So instead of activating Vinted listings and getting things going and getting kind of parcels packaged and out the next day, I chose a couple of days of rest with the intention of starting on Thursday the 1st. Let's start on the 1st of May. It's lovely, I said to myself. And then I get a phone call on late Thursday afternoon basically saying, we can come and fit your carpets here the day before the conservatory is due to be done. Or it's a wait until the end of August. No, thank you. And all of the furniture and everything needs to come out of both bedrooms. It's going to take us about an hour and a half to do, and there's a couple of us will work on both bedrooms at the same time. Oh. So all of a sudden, the living room, which was going to be full just on the Saturday of just one room's worth of contents, the conservatory, became full of 3 rooms worth of contents on both the Thursday and the Friday and the Saturday, and all of the rest and all of the energy management that I was working on went down the drain because at that late notice I couldn't get anyone out to come and help me do stuff, so I was trying to move stuff up and down the stairs. My stairs curve around twice. That was a stupid idea, whoever built this house, trying to get a Calax unit down that and up and round. It wasn't good. But in the end, I have lovely new carpet, and I put a community post out, and it looks wonderful. Go check out the pictures there. And I get now to rearrange and completely resort the office. Unfortunately, it took the tank had no reserves yesterday. I was just about managing to survive. So therefore, interesting things happened in the budget, because of course it does. It meant I didn't work through my Vinted piles. We restart that for this week. This video will also not include a preview of this week's budget because I haven't done it. Full disclosure. My total income, and there's going to be a little bit of camera shake, thanks for sticking with me. We knew about the rollover and the wages, and then I didn't pull any money from my online selling account, bar one thing which came in from somewhere else, which was £16.11. And then the rollover from my normal budget, which I also have to film for April, to close that out was £48.80. So I have a total of £2,762.36 for this week, which is massive. And I think it's the most amount I've ever kind of taken into a normal month. And we did some things. Now, you would have seen on my Monday video where I was going through and doing that budget with you. The rent has been paid. My council tax is coming out in next week, so week 2 of the budget. My Wi-Fi I've paid double, and that cashback is now cleared, and that will appear in week 2's budget. Mobile was 16, car tax is £16.66. It went out on the 1st, which is, pardon me, fine. Car insurance we knew was a little bit more, which was 86, and then my water was £38. Contents insurance isn't due to come out until the 10th. YouTube was $12.99. For ease of me doing the maths, I tend to round up. And then Amazon Prime, as probably a one-off for this month, was $8.99. And then my Google storage doesn't come out until the middle of the month. So my bills so far is £1,198.64, but I will have some more bills coming out next week. And then my rollover was £1,566.72. Now, because the end of the week very much kind of derailed and stuff, I was waiting for things like my online food shop to happen, sorting out obviously Barry's prescription meds. When were they going to arrive? There was other stuff I was doing further up here that I was waiting to settle, and then at the end of this week, i.e. this weekend, I was going to look at what I was going to move into savings. That didn't happen because my time literally disappeared. We're talking the carpet guy saying I'll get here at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and me being up at 5 a.m. on that Saturday to move that stuff around and continue moving that stuff around. We've been we have been joined by a Mr. Bowie. Hey. Hello. Oh, which meant that basically he jumped up and I had to do an edit and everything happened. Right, okay, so go with me, people. It basically meant that putting things into the savings. I'll sort that out next week. This week it's fine. The £4.56 was what has kind of naturally gone in as a result of the rollover. You're very pleased with yourself right now. What's just kind of focus, what's just naturally gone in. So let's come up now to the flexible expenses. There was just going to be so much shake and we're going to have to deal with it, and it's fine because we have a cat in the lap. Everything's good because there's a cat in the lap. So, don't you dare get off after causing all this disruption. I had a beautiful setup. The shake wasn't that bad, and look what's happened. Okay, so I took a rollover of £1,562.16. I think generally this is like the largest naturally occurring rollover outside of getting like a student loan payment as an extra income. It's weird. It's lovely. It really is like nice. It makes you want to kind of take and have that much to do with. But yeah, there we go. Cat medication we knew about. It was £175.85, and I still cannot get over that is what I have paid for 2 to 3 months worth of medication for him. Like breaking that, if let's just say it's like, even if it's 2 months, £15 of it is flea treatment. It's £80. I was paying £200 a month. Like, you have seen me for a year and a half now, nearly, just watch so much of my flexible income just be taken by cat medication. And between that and the food, I'm really excited for budgets going forward, to be honest, because it just gives a little bit of like room to breathe back in, and I still get to keep my cat lovely and healthy. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Something like that. Food was slightly down, £16.47. I will have to get him some food in a couple of weeks. Fuel was £45.77. This is what happens when you let your engine and your tank go down to red. Food was £91.33. That was an online food delivery. So yeah, I'll see how long I can stretch that out for. I might need to do another bit of a food shop this week. Food costs this month, I'm very much trying to figure out eating healthy just costs more, and it's something that I have to do from a health perspective. So I will not need to really settle and sit on what's my budget looking like and what does it mean for food. So we'll see where we land this month. Household and toiletry was £28.20. I have under budgeted for that this month. There was a couple of things that couldn't be delivered on the food shop, so I did try and get it all in there, all in on one, and I'll see how long I can go for, but I think I'm going to need to spend a bit more. My personal spending was £99.53. My new driver's license I'll do towards the end of the month. I'm all right until the end of June, so I'll kind of push that back a couple of weeks. It's an admin job, which I've not had time to do this week, which is why it hasn't appeared. And the same for the prescription certificate as well. It runs out at the end of this month, so as long as I get it sorted before then, it's okay. Miscellaneous, I couldn't for the life of me remember what my miscellaneous was, so I'm going to carry that forward because it's still there nudging at that there's something I've forgotten. House. One thing I did do, what with the rearranging of the old carpet coming out, which it turned out had been down for 21 years, so no wonder it was so disgusting. Was I do need to eventually go through and replace kind of blankets and soft furnishings and stuff like that with something that's more allergy friendly. So I've replaced 2 of my pillows and got myself a allergy friendly hypoallergenic quilt for the summer, and that was £31. It was an earlier need than I maybe thought it would have been. And then hair. Oh my gosh, there's a hair payment. I bought hair dye for 2 hair dye sessions. So that's 8 weeks of hair dye for £14. Look at me, big spender. Total cost therefore on flexible expenses was £488.29. Some stuff will come out towards the end of the middle of the month, and it was just kind of a mental load. I need to do an admin to-do list, to be fair. Rollover of £1,073.87. Now, again, debt payments came out totalling £48.17. I do need to do a debt update. I'm aware of that. Again, admin job that has not been done. So I'm rolling over £1,025.06. And if I overview there, we can see that there are some bills that are due to come out still. Obviously, energy as well comes out at the end of the month for me. Council tax is coming out this week on the week that you are seeing this. And same for contents insurance and Google storage. In terms of what I've got scheduled to come up, I have got a car boot to do at the end of this week of filming and some still flexible spending and stuff to do. It's a very bitty, admin-y, heavy things are renewing, things that need to be sorted that I have not sat down and organised. Now I'm hoping this little one is going to allow me to go for a wander and I can actually show you how the conservatory is looking, because in terms of just making things a bit more organised and a bit easier, I won't show you upstairs because I know those of you that are easily triggered by mess will not be able to cope with life, and I say that with full sarcasm. Not, kind of. Let's take you in. Now I have in here, this room was looking bad. We're not done. We're still not fully sorted. At some point, this room looked like this. I'll put this picture up there for you. So the fact that between me and my dad, there is still some stuff that I've got to do on the bookshelves, but that is very much a job. And then in here, just take it all in. Take it all in. Now, this side along here isn't really done at all, but in these boxes and underneath the mat, which I've put down to stop Bowie sleeping on the fabric that I have to sell, because that's not good, is all fabric that I need to sell, and it's all large, 3 to 4 meters plus, and it's heavy and it's bulky and it's awkward. My sewing machine is not for sale, but it's living there for now. And everything in these storage cubes, with the exception of packing supplies over there, is all stuff that I've got currently to list and sell / take to a car boot. And it's all things that, you know, if I have to sit on it for a bit, I'll sit on it for a bit. Same for these ones down here. And then what I'm thinking at the minute is I'm going to give over the top run of cubes up here for like art and crafting supplies that for me to use generally. I've got one box like that. I've got another one in the garage that I need to bring in and set up, so I'll have cross-referencing 2 lightings. I've got some spare storage here and there. And then over here, it's a bit of a mismatch. I've not come in and organised because, like I said, this room is still not done and finished. I've got sewing patterns which I'm selling both at the car boot sale and on Vinted. Same for this one here. These are the only 2 boxes of sewing patterns which I'm keeping for myself. I've got some stationery down there. I've got some paper craft which I need to list and sell. Obviously, you can see the error. And then up here, I've got some canvassy painting things for me and some photo frames for me to put stuff and photos. And then at the minute, this cupboard, I'm not going to move that and organise it yet. And we've got the 2 mannequins that I'm keeping. In terms of changes and stuff still to be done, so I'll do kind of a finished overview of both the office upstairs and this room as kind of a big reveal when that's ready. I've got the tumble dryer which is going to sit about here, and then Dad is going to extend this worktop out because this is a separate piece and leave me like a little kind of void space, so I've got a worktop where I can kind of sit, do any kind of repairs and anything like that. What I've got to decide is whether I'm going to take the sewing machine upstairs and have it also as a sewing room come crafting office. So garden needs work. It's a very neglected space. It's not ideal. It's really, 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 really overlooked on both sides, because I have a neighbour just there, so she can look in as well. The shed is just rotting and old. And yeah, it's not ideal. It's a bit of a neglected space, to be fair. It's not very inviting. So this is it. So I've got stuff to work through and list and photograph. Upstairs is where all the clothing is, but I'll show you that in a later video. So thank you so much for watching. Hi, Bee. Come see the people. Give them a snoop. Hey, are you going to go? Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to sit and chill on the sofa. I've got a couple of orders that I need to pack up and get going today. No. You little sausage. Yes. Yeah, have a wonderful budgeting week wherever around the world. Sorry for no videos last week. That didn't go as planned. And we are gonna love you and leave you and say bye-bye for now.